My project is an interactive biography of Jimi Hendrix. What that means is users get to physically take control of a guitar in order to play through a series of images representative of his life. So before the user comes in the room, Jimi Hendrix's music will be playing, and what will happen is there'll be images on screen which respond to the beat in the audio that will scroll through the images. So this is kind of like Jimi Hendrix being in control of his life. What will happen then is the user can come into the room, the software will detect that the user's in the room, and then Jimi Hendrix's music will stop. This kind of represents the changeover. So Jimi Hendrix was in control and now the user's in control. What they can then do is take control of the guitar, and what they'll do is they can play the strings of the guitar, and each time the string is played, the software will detect that and they will be scrolling through the images. So the idea is it represents the fact that Jimi Hendrix is such a big part of the music industry and the music world and society in general that even though he's gone, his music and his impact and his legacy will still stay on through people reproducing his sound, reproducing his style. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to represent through his music playing and then the user coming in. So it's almost like his death, but he doesn't really die because users and society keep him alive through the playing of the guitar and that sort of thing. That's the idea. Okay, so what happens here is the guitar is plugged into the USB slot on my laptop, and what will happen is there's software on there that will transform the live audio signal into a MIDI signal. So basically a sound signal to an electronic signal. What will happen is that electronic signal will then be sent through to another piece of software via like an imaginary cable, it's the best way to explain it. And that software will then detect the electrical MIDI signal, and that will cause the live events that you'll see on the projections and on the screen. So these are the images, the biographical images. They're done in an abstract style. What's happening in the background, you see these particles. These particles are embers left over from Jimi Hendrix's fiery career. That's the idea. So he's quite regularly compared to fire, you know, through burning his guitar, the song Fire, quite a lot of his lyrics involve it. Some compare him to Agni, I think it's the Indian god of fire, Agni. So the idea is Jimi Hendrix's career was so intense, it was like a match burst, you know, it was, you flick a match, it burns really intensely and goes out very quickly. That was like his career. It was only 4 years, but the impact and impressions he left on society were immense. So the idea is these embers are left behind from his career, and each time music is played or the user is in control of the guitar, you can see them just slightly glow a little bit. So that's the idea of the embers there. So they're kind of left over from his career. In the same way of real fire, if you've got all the embers left over and you blow on them, they kind of glow and flicker, it's the same thing. The music is played, it's that breath of life going back into his legacy. That's the idea. So what we've got as well is we've got foot pedals. The idea is this, it's like a tribute to the psychedelic kind of rock. What will happen is you step on the pedal and you get kind of like these psychedelic effects. I mean, they're slightly more modern than traditional psychedelic art, but the idea is this is a modern perspective on Jimi Hendrix's life rather than an experience of him at the time. So we've got modern effects on there to show that it's a modern perspective, if that makes any sense. So that's the first one. We've got the RGB split there. So you see it kind of rotating around with the RGB split around. And we've got the second one, which is more psychedelic, more traditional psychedelic art, and that is the kaleidoscopes there, which move. And each time the guitar is played, the image will change and the effects are completely live. Okay, so aside from those, so we've got the general image changes, we've got the effects pedals. You can also alter the storyline by playing the notes of two of his songs, Purple Haze or Hey Joe. So Purple Haze, if I play the notes individually, there we are. So if I play the notes individually, we see this. The particles go away and the software sings back the lyrics. So what happens is it registers that I've played the first 4 notes of Purple Haze, and then it will sing back those lyrics through the text on screen. So then if I play the first 4 notes of Hey Joe, there we are. Hey Joe, where are you going? So yeah, sings back. It recognises what I've played, just the notes, and sings it back to me. So yeah. So I'll go with him. So what we've got now is we've got the music playing. So this is when Hendrix is in control of the room, and the software is responding. Each time it recognises a beat, it's changing the image. So this is like Hendrix going through his own life through his music. then what will happen is if the user was to step on the pedal, on the pressure pad, step on it, music stops, grabs the guitar, pops it on, can then play through, view the images, see what happened in Jimi Hendrix's life. They can then mess around with the foot pedals, look at some cool kaleidoscopes which are changing alongside the images, completely live and responsive. Come away, mess around with the other foot pedal, again, each time I play the image, there. We also have a situation where the user may keep control of the guitar and step off, and this kind of initiates a jam session with Hendrix. So the software will respond to both my guitar playing and the audio. So it's like you and Hendrix have come together and you're jamming together, you know? You're going through things together, all that kind of idea. So that's it, basically. That is my interactive biography of Jimi Hendrix. Hope you like it.